Aswata Shishiman is Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Kori Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Gauran Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jumunamaya Gangamaya Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Hari Bol. All glories to Samudotis. All glories to Samudotis. All glories to Samudotis. Jai Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 10, Chapter 13, Text 25, Brahma stealing the boys and calves. Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Bina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Bina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Sneharadikam Vina Purovat Asvapi Hares Takata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Vina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Vina Puravad Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Vina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Vina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehardikam Vina Purovat Asvapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehadikam Vina Puravat Asvapi Hares Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehadikam Vina Asvapi Haram Hata Anya Pratam Mataji's. Tasmin Snehadikam Vina Puravadasvapi Hares Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Snehadikam Vina Puravarasapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam Matritasmin Asit Snehadikam Vina Puravarasapi Hares Tokata Mayaya Vina Gogopinam, for both the cows and the gopis, the elderly cowherd women. Matrita, motherly affection. Asmin, unto Krishna. Asit, there ordinarily was. Sneha, of affection. Radhikam, any increase. Vina, without. Puravat, like before. Asu, there was among the cows and gopis. Api, although. Hare, of Krishna. Tokata, Krishna is my son. Mayaya Vina, without Maya. Translation. Previously, from the very beginning, the gopis had motherly affection for Krishna. Indeed, their affection for Krishna exceeded even their affection for their own sons. In displaying their affection, they had thus distinguished between Krishna and their sons. But now that distinction disappeared. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The distinction between one's own son and another's son is not unnatural. Many elderly women have motherly affection for the sons of others. They observe distinctions, however, between those other sons and their own. But now the elderly gopis could not distinguish between their own son and Krishna. For since their own sons had been taken by Brahma, Krishna had expanded as their sons. Therefore, their extra affection for their sons, who were now Krishna himself, was due to bewilderment resembling that of Brahma. Previously, the mothers of Sridama, Sudama, Subal, and Krishna's other friends did not have the same affection for one another's sons. But now the gopis treated all the boys as their own. Sukadeva Goswami therefore wanted to explain this increment of affection in terms of Krishna's bewilderment of Brahma, the gopis, the cows, and everyone else. Gogopinam matritasmin asit snehardikam vina puravat asvapiares lokata tokata mayaya vina. Previously, from the very beginning, the gopis had motherly affection for Krishna. Indeed, their affection for Krishna exceeded even their affection for their own sons. In displaying their affection, they had thus distinguished between Krishna and their sons, but now that distinction disappeared. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So herein, this sneha, or affection, of the gopis towards their sons, now that Krishna had replaced their sons, had increased. This is actually the true meaning of Krishna consciousness. Bhavagrahi Janardana. That one has to have a great affection for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That sentiment, that spiritual sentiment, is what helps us and gives us our advancement in spiritual life. Because there is a mood of devotion and great affection for Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. Bhavagrahi Janardana. That great affection. So herein, the gopis, their affection for their own sons was increasing. Prabhupada points out that generally everyone is interested in their own child, own man, their own son. I know I talk to my relatives, now they talk about their grandchildren. It could go on for hours. I stop it and tell them I've got to get back to bookkeeping here. Please let me go. And of course, naturally, I'm also talking about own man, my grandchildren. Oh, they did this, they did that. It's natural in this material world to talk about your own son, your own children. But the gopis, their affection was there also for Krishna. Everyone loved Krishna. And when their children were actually Krishna, when Krishna replaced their children, that sentiment, that affection, that great affection increased more and more. This is Krishna consciousness, that we increase our affection for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We increase our affection for Srila Prabhupada and for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We increase our affection for Vaishnavas. This is our Krishna consciousness movement. We are Prabhupada Anugas. We are followers of Srila Prabhupada. Just like it is pointed out in the Vedic scriptures that we are Rupanugas. We are followers of Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada. So we are followers of Prabhupada, Prabhupada Anugas. And therefore, we have to be very careful. Not that we just jump over the head of our spiritual master. There was one devotee, is common knowledge, in the 70s, Prabhupada was on the planet. He was a Sanskrit scholar. And he was studying so many books and going to so many spiritual masters. And ultimately, this is a true story, he went to Srila Prabhupada and said, "Can you give me the benediction that I could find a bona fide true spiritual master. This is the history. He was close to Srila Prabhupada, and he had the audacity. Of course, he left our society. He had committed a great offense to his spiritual master. And he was dismissed from his duties because he jumped over the head of the Guru. Therefore, Prabhupada Anuga means we don't jump over the head of Prabhupada. We stick to Prabhupada's teachings. We have Prabhupada's letters. We have Prabhupada's books. We have Prabhupada's lectures. We stick to Srila Prabhupada. We aren't Vedantists. I'm not a Vedantist. I'm a Prabhupada Anuga. I follow Srila Prabhupada. I really can't even consider myself a Vaishnav. I'm not sure what that means. But I follow Srila Prabhupada. One is a Prabhupada Anuga. If he or she greets everyone, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Not some newfangled Gaudiya Math saying, but what Prabhupada taught us to say. One is a Prabhupada Anuga if he sticks strictly to the principles given by Srila Prabhupada. One is a Prabhupada Anuga if he chants Srila Prabhupada's name without reservation at the Mangal Arti and Guru Puja, and chants the name of the deity at the Mangal Arti and the Guru Puja, openly and wantingly, because Srila Prabhupada taught us like that. We were in Srila Prabhupada's presence, personal presence, when these mantras and names were chanted. Kishore Kishori, Radha Govinda in Denver, in Atlanta, Gauri Thai, Srila Prabhupada personally there. And of course, we didn't hesitate. There was no hesitation to chant Srila Prabhupada's name. This is Prabhupada Anuga, not some newly fashioned ideas that someone comes up with out of their brain. The Swami's, what is that, Rishabdev, incarnation of Lord Krishna, he says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvairs gunastatra samasate sura haro abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathanasati davito bahi. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana. One develops all the qualities of the godly people, the demigods, by engaging in devotional service. But haro abhaktasya, but for the abhakta, for one who is not a devotee, haro abhaktasya kuto mahadguna, they may have mahadguna, great qualities. They're charismatic. They know how to speak very eloquently. They can make lots of money. They can twist words in such a way that anyone will believe them. One of our leading GBCs in ISKCON, who has passed away. I was on his party, and they were doing some interview, and the GBC man said to the rest of the devotees, I heard it, that be very careful about Sura. He has this quality, he can convince anyone of anything. You have to be, he has this material qualification that he can convince anyone. Be very careful. He'll try to trick you. It's true. I don't know. I was born with this blessing or curse that somehow we have quality. But no matter what quality you have, that you can convince people, that you can become president of the United States. Kuto mahadguna manoratanasiti davato bahi. If one is on the manorat, the chariot of the mind, if one is stuck on the mental plane, and one is not a devotee, he has no good, she has no good qualities. Even though they may appear they're very expert, physician, or they know the erudite scholar, they know so many theories and different philosophies, but if they're not a devotee, if they don't have sadhana, if they have no bhavagrahi janardana, they have no affection for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then manoratanasati davato bahi, then they have nothing in their life. Therefore, it's our business to give Krishna consciousness. Natevidu swargagati hi Vishnu. People just don't know because they're trained. We were at a program with Amla Bhakta Maharaj the other day. The Temple Bhajan band assisted him, and he gave a beautiful lecture at a householder's home. All guests, so many guests. And one of the guests asked the $1,000,000 question. He asked for questions. She said, I've been meditating now for some time, and I'm getting extremely bored. I was so bored, I stopped my meditation. Maharaj gave perfect answer. Of course, we all know Krishna. He sat down and he meditated on himself. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His meditation is on himself. Maharaj asked her, what are you meditating on? And her answer was, mostly myself. Isn't it, Maharaj? She said, mostly myself. Pretty much myself. He said, there's your problem. Because everyone is trained and taught in this Western world especially. Therefore, Prabhupada came, Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Prabhupada came to defeat this Nirvisesvadi and Sunyavadi, Mayavadi, sit down, meditate on themselves. Of course you're going to get bored, Maharaj told her. Your pastimes are limited. Your life is limited. But Krishna is unlimited. And if you meditate on Krishna, you meditate on the chanting, he said of the Temple Bhajan band, I don't know, but you meditate on the chants, you meditate on Krishna's pastime, as we're hearing here, 13th chapter, of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, this was the last chapter that our spiritual master translated. I have the last book that Srila Prabhupada came out with. Text 64 is the last text in November of 77. Srila Prabhupada passed from this world, and this was the chapter. You meditate on these verses, these pastimes, and we meditate on Srila Prabhupada's pastime of translating these pastimes. That meditation, Maharaj was pointing out, you never get bored. We're reading, some devotees here are reading for 45 years, going on 50 years. They're reading the same stories. They read the same Bhagavad Gita over and over and over. The Srimad Bhagavatam. They know the stories backwards and maybe even forwards, because you never get bored. But meditate on yourself. Meditate on nature. There's one whole religion based on meditating on nature. Their key is nature. And just so happens in the place where they meditate on nature is the most earthquakes, hurricanes, and storms on this planet. They're meditating on nature, and Krishna is trying to tell them, don't meditate on nature, it's just chaotic. Meditate on me, chant me. But instead they're meditating on nature, and here comes a tsunami, and here comes a earthquake again, and here comes so many natural catastrophes. So therefore our meditation is on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj was pointing out so nicely, and the lady was smiling and agreeing. She's going to try chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. What a nice meditation. You can chant and chant and chant and chant, and still you never get bored meditating Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sura Prabhu, how long you and Tidit have been chanting? 45 years? 45 years? Are you tired? Maybe tired of some of the persons we deal with, but the chanting, you never tire. The pastimes of Krishna, we're reading over and over. We never tire. It's beautiful. Prabhupada's books are endless. We should all read Prabhupada's books 10 times. No need for anything else. Read Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, Nectar Devotion, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, 10, 15 times. Quote all of the verses in the Bhagavatam. Know them by heart. Then you can start moving on to some other scriptures. First, learn Prabhupada's books thoroughly. This is what Prabhupada taught us. Prabhupada's books are the law books for mankind for the next 10,000 years. Hinduism is not the law book for the next 10,000 years. Srila Prabhupada's books are the law books for the next 10,000 years. This was stated by Srila Prabhupada himself. My books will be the law books. So as teachers and students and preachers of the Siddhanta of Srila Prabhupada's movement, Vaishnavism, in Prabhupada's realm, we have to understand Srila Prabhupada's books and Srila Prabhupada's teachings, Srila Prabhupada's lectures. When we travel for kirtan, we always listen, especially long distance, to Prabhupada lectures. I have them on this 1999 iPad or something. Whatever it is, it's so old that the only wonderful thing about it, every Prabhupada lecture is on this iTouch or whatever it's called. I think it's an iPod something. It's 20 years old. It's a Prabhupada. It's a Prabhupada. That's the British way of pronouncing. And we can play every Prabhupada. We never get tired. The lectures go, we're driving to San Francisco 6 hours and listening intently to every word that Srila Prabhupada is saying. 6 hours, you get about 45 minutes a lecture. It's about 8, 9 lectures. So until we understand all of Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and his teachings are there in the pages of Bhagavatam. We go to Bhagavatam every day. Sura Prabhu is there every day at Bhagavatam class. If Sura Prabhu is not there, what happened? What happened to Savas? Where's Savas? Is there some phone call, some meeting? He's not sick, is he? He never gets tired. He listens to Bhagavatam class every day. He's been here for 32, 31, 32, 31, because I've been 30. The end of the year, I'm 30. Been here 31, going on 32 years, and attended every Bhagavatam class, except when the BBT trustees call at 7:30 in the morning. Every class doesn't get tired, and every class is enlivening. So, this is our mission. Follow Srila Prabhupada, become Prabhupada Nuga, listen to Prabhupada's wonderful teachings in this last chapter that he gave us. Chant the names of Krishna, chant Prabhupada in the kirtan, of course Hare Krishna, of course the deity's name. Our life becomes peaceful and happy. We don't have to concoct anything. We don't have to make up anything new, a new rule, bring in new ideas. We have different ways of preaching. Someone can come up with a novel way of preaching Krishna consciousness. I heard something the other day people are very attracted to. It's some kind of sound when they sing in music that I think it's called metal or heavy metal, and they roar. And Karma Prabhu said, hey, you can do that naturally when you sing. Maybe you should start roaring kirtan, the heavy metal kirtan. So I thought that's an interesting idea. I don't know how they do it, but it's like some kind of heavy roaring. Even the ladies are doing this roar. I was somehow blessed with a roaring voice, even when I don't roar. So we could come up with new ideas, novel ways of presenting Krishna consciousness. That may not be a very good idea, but It's definitely new. Uh, but we don't have to change anything that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Uh, Rishabdev has told us, he told his sons, Nayam deho deha bhajan riloke, kastan karman arhate bidbujam ye. Don't be like the hogs and dogs just eating stool, but live a life. Tapo divyam putrakayena sadyam sudyad brahmasokyam twanantam. Live a life of divine austerity. Live a life of Krishna consciousness. And your happiness will increase and will never stop. It will never cease. It goes on forever. Sokyam twanantam. He went on to tell his sons, how you do that? By following the saintly persons. By giving service. What's that verse in Sanskrit? Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimuktes tamodwaram yosita sangi sangam mahantas te sama chitta prasanta vimanyava surida sadavoye. Mahat sevam, by serving the great souls who are completely free from all vice. When Vaisheshika Prabhu got his name, Vaisheshika, and we all started calling him Vice, I went up to him and said, how am I going to become completely freed from all vice? Of course, that's V-A-I-S, not V-I-C-E. But completely freed from all vice, V-I-C-E, Mahat Sevam Dwaram Ahurvim, the door of liberation is open. Tamodwaram, but the door of Tama, the door to hell, to the dark world, Tamodwaram, is open. Yosita Sangi Sangam, by associating with the opposite of the saintly persons, by terrible association. So we have to keep this good association. We have to always associate with devotees. And devotees means those who are senior, we take knowledge from. Those who are equals, we befriend. Those who are lesser, we give guidance to. You judge a person by the company that they keep. You can see a person. A fool is revealed because he associates with other fools. He is only associating with fools and rascals. Therefore, one has to keep one's association very advanced. Associate with advanced persons and avoid persons who are not considered very advanced. Prabhupada said this is not a place for crazy and lazy fellows. Go home to your mother. This is a place for sincere people. You can use everything in Krishna's service. Prabhupada said we shall adopt all the means of the materialistic persons only for the purpose of Krishna. But you can't use craziness. This is me saying. You can't use craziness in Krishna's service. You can't use neurosis in the service of Lord Krishna. Therefore, Krishna consciousness means it is wiping out your neurosis. If your neurosis is still there, you're doing something wrong. If we're still neurotic, then something's missing in our daily sadhana, in our daily function. So we should be careful to associate with saintly persons. Those who aren't saintly, we can give them instruction, but we don't take their association. We avoid their association. And then we can advance till we have affection for our spiritual master and Krishna, just like the gopis had such great affection for their sons and daughters, their sons, the gopis and the cows who were replaced by Lord Krishna. All glories to Guru and Gaurango. If I was holding the mic, isn't that what we do these days? You joining